What's up, people of Reddit, and welcome back to our /AskReddit, where folks share their stories about messing with someone in a subtle way. So keep watching, and please hit the subscribe button. One of my best friends was working as a section manager in a retail store. He bought a box of like 400 rubber duckies off Amazon and started leaving the single one on his boss desk at random times. Never said a word to her about it, and would pick out times to do it to throw her off the scent, like if he came on an off day to shop. He'd sneak one in. He'd come in 30 minutes before his shift started to do it. He'd even stay late to do it. He did this for at least 6 months before he got promoted and got a transfer. On his last day of work, he walked into her office with the box of the rest and turned them upside down on her desk. She hit something like a combo of hysterical laughter and sobbing. "Oh my God, I thought I was going insane." That's total prankster level right there. The commitment is unreal. 6 months of sneaky rubber ducky drops? He had serious dedication to the bit. I can't even imagine what was going through his boss's mind every time she found one, slowly questioning her own sanity. And then to top it all off by dumping the rest on her desk? That's legendary. I bet she'll never look at a rubber duck the same way again. My friend's boyfriend scared her as a prank. She sought revenge by waiting for him to fall asleep and then watched a bunch of videos he would hate on his YouTube account to f with his recommend algorithm. I would be super mad if someone did that to me. It's one thing to pull a prank, but messing with someone's YouTube algorithm is next level devious. That thing takes forever to recover. Every time you open YouTube, it's gonna be like some kind of reminder of the prank, showing you all these videos you can't stand. I totally get why she did it, though. Revenge served with a side of passive-aggressive genius. I'd probably be plotting my own comeback after something like that. I went to a small college back when we all used the library for computers. At this time, Netflix was a DVD delivery system where you had a subscription and they mailed you DVDs. It was quite amazing for the time. So I type in my Netflix account and I see my friend's name pop up on the account as he had forgotten to log off when he had used the same computer in the library. So I changed all his Mission Impossible /battle type saved DVDs to rom-coms and dance movies. Later that week, I asked him how he enjoyed his movies, and he laughed and said they were actually quite good. I put the dongle of a wireless mouse into the back of my coworker's computer. Whenever I feel like f***ing with him, I just open my desk drawer and take over his computer. It was only a few weeks, but a supervisor on a construction site I worked on was complaining about the birds in front of his office. That night I went to a pet shop and bought a big bag of birdseed. I hid it nearby, and when the coast was clear I would scatter a couple of handfuls. It took a few days, but more and more birds started stopping by to look for food. Had over 30 pigeons out there one morning when he came in. I let him in on what I was doing one day when he'd pretty much given up and was throwing old bread out for the birds. He later asked me to pick up another bag of seed, as he'd taken over throwing out seed and ran out. Looks like someone got addicted to feeding pigeons. It's hilarious how the prank totally backfired in the best way possible. Instead of driving him crazy, it turned him into a full-on bird enthusiast. I can just picture him out there every morning, like, "Come on, little guys, breakfast is served." Honestly, who knew a simple prank could transform someone into a devoted pigeon feeder? Now he's probably got names for them and everything. Back in the day, I used to cold call in a shitty sales job, and eventually I got bored. When I would ask for Mr. Smith, and they would say he's not here, can I take a message? I used to leave messages. Tell him he was right, it's not going to fit. Or, tell him it'll have to be the blue one, the red one isn't available. Or, we can't do 7 o'clock because the cat isn't well. If they queried it any further, and they usually didn't, I'd say you will know what it means. I like to think I've left a legacy of people scratching their heads for days. Put a single grain of rice on something that belongs to them every day when they are not looking. And a shoe, a pocket, on top of their bag at work, on their desk. Always rice, always a different place. 1. When I was a kid in the 80s, my neighbor used to go on vacation for 2 weeks every year during the summer. And he relied on his friend, my dad, to go get his mail and check on his house. Which my dad did. My neighbor loved elaborate Christmas lights, like all over his entire house. And that took a lot of work. So he left them up all year and only turned them on at Christmas time. So for 2 weeks of the summer, my dad would turn his friend's Christmas lights on during the summer. But no one else in the neighborhood knew what was going on. Every once in a while, someone in the neighborhood would mention it and he would act all confused. because he was. 2. My grandpa used to work with a guy during the 60s who used to brag about gas mileage. So his whole office would pitch in and buy gas and siphon it into his car so his gas would last way longer than it should. Like weeks. And he would come in and brag about it and everyone would laugh. I put one of those electronic cricket circuits above the false ceiling in my old boss's office. Every so often, 2 to 15 minutes, it would chirp. It drove him mad. He never did find it. Say, I have to go poop, then just don't say anything and stand there. Oh shit, that's the kind of awkwardness that would make everyone uncomfortable real fast. I can just imagine the tension in the air as people try to figure out if you're serious or just messing with them. It's such a simple move, but the way it makes people scramble for what to say next is hilarious. I'd be the one standing there like, do you need help finding the bathroom? Classic way to mess with people's heads. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. See you in the next video.